Welcome, everybody, for those who are here. Tonight, we're going to be discussing the Rasheem Carter case. This is a live discussion. Your feedback, participation is welcome. This case right here bothers the hell out of me to the core. So let me see who I got in the building with me. I say I got Marley 13. Welcome in, Marley. Got the Lioness in the building. What's going on, big sis? Also got Sherry in the building. How you doing, Sherry? Thank y'all for coming in. I appreciate it. I'm not sure how many people are familiar with this case. It's actually happened last year in October. But it's now gaining some national attention that it actually needs. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. I just did a video on this case yesterday, and I said I just can't stop there. So I decided to go live tonight, regardless who came in or who didn't. You'll see it if they don't see it live. So I'm going to just play the video that I actually did yesterday. And I'm going to be dropping a link in the chat for anyone who want to come up here and give their feedback, or if they even know anything about the case that none of us may know. So sit back. This one right here, this one's a crazy one. So we're going to go into this video that I did yesterday, and we're going to do some commentary. So let's start here.
This was not a natural killing. This was not a natural death. This represents a young man who was killed. His head was severed from his body. His vertebrae, his spinal cord, was in another spot they discovered away from his severed head. They have recently found remains that they believe are also Rasheem Carter at another part of where he went missing. And what that tells us is that this was a nefarious act. This was an evil act. Somebody murdered Rasheem Carter. And we cannot let them get away with this. And so today, we're calling for the Department of Justice to open an investigation as to what happened to Rasheem Carter. Somebody seen what happened to Rasheem. And it doesn't make any sense at all, because the text message that his mother got before he went missing is a part of the clue to solving this murder. And it has to be investigated. Do you want to read it, Tiffany? You have to say the name.
Okay.
And what section?
This was on October the 1st. My son texted me. This was after him and I had gotten off the phone. He said, me and the owner of this company not seeing eye to eye, Mama. His name, which I can't say at this time, but if anything happened to me, he's responsible for it. I'm too smart, Mama. He got these guys wanting to kill me. And that's what he sent to me.
And then he went missing. And then his remains were found with his head dismembered from his body, his spinal cord separated from his head, and his other body parts are still missing. Tiffany deserves answers. This community deserves answers. Justice for Rasheem Carter. Justice for Rasheem Carter. Justice for Rasheem Carter. Justice for Rasheem Carter.
Here we are, 2023, some 70 years after the 50s. We thought we had advanced here in Mississippi. I've been a Mississippian for all 46 years of my life, and I've never heard of a crime this horrific in my life. I was not living during the time of Emmett Till. I heard about that and read about it in the history books, but I thought we had progressed in Mississippi. But we are living in the Jim Crow era 2.0, and there seems to be a surge of white supremacy. There's no reason that Rasheem Carter should have been killed. He was dutifully and gainfully employed, just trying to make a living for his young child, and ends up dead, chased by what we believe to be white supremacists, a lynch mob. And so we're going to stand with Attorney Crump and stand with his family to fight for justice. We need the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice and the highest levels of government to come child defense in Mississippi. Amen. Because as wise as Carter's today, it could be my family tomorrow. It could be any Black American in Mississippi. It could be any of us. There is a new surge of white supremacy, and none of us shall feel safe until all of us feel safe. And so we will fight for justice until the end.
The state medical examiner's office was not able to determine a cause of death for 25-year-old Rasheem Carter. His family believes there was foul play, so their attorney sent a letter to the Department of Justice asking them to get involved. We want to warn you that some of the video is graphic and could be disturbing to some viewers. 25-year-old Rasheem Carter of Fayette was contracted to work in Smith County last year. Carter went missing in October after texting his mother that his life was in danger.
He said, me and the owner of this company not seeing eye to eye, mama. But if anything happened to me, he's responsible for it. I'm too smart, mama. He got these guys wanting to kill me. And that's what he sent to me.
Attorneys say there was an attempt to use Carter's credit card in Taylorsville while he was missing. A month after his disappearance, some of his remains were found in Smith County. The Mississippi State Medical Examiner's Office was not able to determine a cause of death because some of Carter's remains were in an advanced state of decomposition. The Smith County Sheriff's Office is leading the investigation, and the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is assisting, but his family says more needs to be done, so attorneys sent a letter asking the U.S. Department of Justice to get involved. The Smith County Sheriff says he's waiting for the findings from search warrants to come back. He also says he welcomes the involvement of the Department of Justice.
All right. So that's pretty much just, to give you the gist of what's going on, what happened in this case. Again, like I said, this happened back in October. Now, you heard what his mom said. She said he sent her a text telling her what was going on. Now, what you didn't hear in that particular part of that video was she told him to contact or go to the police. And that's what he did. He went to the police twice. Nothing was ever done. Then he comes up missing. Now, the sad part about it, once they found his remains, a part of his remains, you see the top of his head was severed off. Now, from what I saw, and I'll put this on the screen so you can get an idea what I'm talking about. That looked like it was cut clean off. An animal would not have made a clean cut like that. You understand what I'm saying? That was not done by an animal. Anybody with common sense can see that. An animal bite and they gnaw. It's gonna be jagged edges. That was a clean cut. Then his head was pretty much removed from the rest of his body. When this young man went to the police department and made the complaint of what was going on, of course, we know they didn't do anything. But when they find this guy remains after he was reported missing, it didn't register in your head that this is the same fella who came to you complaining about 3 white trucks full of white men were trying to kill him. The fact that you guys, a day later, which I'm going to play this in a second, a day later said there's not enough evidence to say there's foul play. What do you think we're thinking? This is a modern day lynching. They know that. We know that. And the fact you did nothing about it tells me a lot. Back in Mississippi. Oh, Mississippi. A lot of people like to live in this fairy tale or this land where there's nothing but rainbows and butterflies and pretend that racism doesn't exist. I think that's just denial. I think we all know racism still exists, whether you like it or not. Linus, hey, a possibility. Maybe it was the police. Maybe it was. Who knows? But his boss, for some reason, didn't get along with his employee. Now, I don't know if he didn't get along with any other employees that he had, but Rasheem told his mama him and his boss was not seeing eye to eye. We don't know what that means. We don't know why. But we know he was contracted to work here. This case touched my heart because I haven't been through nothing as deep as this, but I went through this before recently. I don't know why his boss didn't like him, but to see 3 white trucks full of white men trying to kill this man, that says a lot for me. I don't have to assume no more. It's easy for me to figure this out. You feel me? I just got released from a job because I was black. Black guy with dreads. Yeah. But here in Georgia, they know not to try that type of shit here. We'll fuck this whole goddamn city up. We don't play that type of shit here. I'm gonna find this other video I want y'all to take a look at as well. But just as a reminder, the link is in the chat if you want to come up here, voice your opinion. Like I said, you're more than welcome to do so. But this cannot be swept under the rug, people. It can't be. Trying to find a video real quick. I want to say it's this one, but no, I don't think it's that one. Let's go to this one right here. This is the one that I haven't seen, so I want to take a look at it anyway. So let me pull this one up real quick.
Beheaded. The 25-year-old was last seen alive in October. Now, parts of his body were found in the woods a month later. And another haunting detail, his family says Carter went to the local police department and reported being scared for his life. He believed a group of white men were following him. My next guest has been intimately involved in this case. Joining me now, Ben Crump law investigator, Arthur Silky Slim Reed. It's just mind-blowing to see this kind of case happening, Arthur. And it's my understanding he last talked to his mother on the phone October 1st, and he warned her. He was saying that there were some issues with his employer, right?
Yes, with his employer. And then he said that 3 trucks of white men had started following him. And then he texted his mom saying that if anything happened to me, so-and-so has something to do with it. He have these men trying to kill me. And then he was also caught on a deer camera in the woods with a large stick on his shoulder, and his shirt was ripped off of him, and he had bruises on him. So someone was after him, and someone was chasing him.
It sounds like a hunt.
Yes.
They're hunting him.
They're hunting him. That's right. And he was seen on that deer camera, and that photo that was on that deer camera, even though they knew he was missing, was circulated through the town at a truck stop during breakfast time, and people were talking about it. And finally, we found out that he was hunted by someone, and you don't just make accusations about someone's trying to kill you and then come up dead. What's crazy about it is that the sheriff on the first day ruled out foul play. We don't see any foul play. When his head was detached from his spinal cord.
How does that happen?
I don't know, man. It's Mississippi. It's Mississippi Burning 2023. And we're on top of this 24/7. We haven't rested on this case. And think about this, that we've had this case since December, right after the remains were found in November, and couldn't get a news story broke on it. Only a couple of people would show up. Only a couple of cameras would show up. So we couldn't get the story broke until now, once we had the images of the remains. And what the state was actually telling us is we're conducting an autopsy. So we're going to turn the body over to y'all as soon as we get through. So when they call and say that they were turning over the body, when I went to Mississippi and it was the size of a shoebox, I was like, what kind of sick joke is this?
Wow. And we're looking at exclusive pictures you've provided for us here. What are we looking at, Arthur, right now exactly?
That's the vertebrae, parts of the vertebrae. The other picture that you see, that's the skull that was inside of that box that I'm telling you about, and that is his skull. And we've never seen this type of decomposition on anybody. So we're trying to figure all of this out as we go along. Was any kind of substance used? What has him in the shape that he's at? Because it would actually take, we dig up mummies and there's still skin, there's hair. We don't have any.
That's a question I had for my producer. I'm like, how can you have a skull in that amount of time? And of course, this has been examined by the pathologist, the medical examiner, and they've positively identified him as this.
That's why some of the teeth were missing, because they used the root of the teeth to take DNA and match it to his mom's DNA. So it's positively him, no doubt about that. Now, also what happened is that last week, a whole separate set of remains have been found on another piece of property.
Separate individual?
Well, we're thinking that it's his remains, but they haven't done the DNA yet. It looked like with a case that, because we hadn't had the publicity that we had now, looked like they would have jumped right on it to try to find out if this was other parts of his remains. But as of today, they say that they haven't tested it for DNA yet.
Wow, just incredible, just unbelievable. So you also sent us another photo with a female that you're standing there with.
That's his mother.
You're looking at the remains. Let's show that photo.
That's his mother.
How has she been? And just imagine a mother looking at your child's remains in a shoe size box.
Yes.
It's just mind blowing. How is she doing now?
Tiffany is one of the strongest women that we have seen. She said to me the first day that I went to Mississippi, she said, Silky, I'm going to bury my baby, and then it's all about business with me. She said, I don't care if they take my life. It's all about business with me after that. We have to find out who killed my child. And one of the things that was happening is that I promised her, I say, I promise you that we're going to get this broke. And as a team with Crump Law, we never make promises that we can't keep. And it was a horrible feeling for them to have to go through Christmas, New Year's, and we couldn't even get a story. But once we seen these images, we had to sit her down and talk to her, Isaiah, say, listen, I know this may be embarrassing. I know that you may not want to do this, but do you want to release these images to the public? And she said, without a doubt, we have to let them see what they done to my baby. She said, this is my baby. This is her baby child. And
Reminds us of Emmett Till's mother.
Exactly. It reminds you exactly of the same story. The way this young man was lynched, no doubt about it in our mind, he was lynched. I don't care what kind of stories they concoct, he was lynched. And we see the results of that by what we have in the shoebox.
In the last 30 seconds that we have, what is it like for you as an investigator for Ben Crump and an investigator in general to hear a black man has been decapitated?
For me, it wasn't about being an investigator. It wasn't about working for Crump Law Firm. It was about a father. I got a 25-year-old, and I was like, I'll be damned if I didn't do everything and turn over every leaf that I could turn over to find out what happened to my son. So I took this as my son, and I sleep with that every night. I was tossing and turning, and now I'm starting to ease up a little bit because we're coming closer to actually finding out. We got people on the internet that's talking. We got people that's giving up names. So now we're coming a little bit closer to finding out what happened to Rasheem Carter because somebody's seen what happened to Rasheem.
All right, sir. We thank you for coming on The Factor Uncensored, and we appreciate this. And we want to send our best to the family. Just
So, man, that's one thing that I was thinking myself is how are we looking at a skeleton so fast? We normally wouldn't see that type of decomposition and maybe for years, maybe not that long, maybe 8 months, the body will start turning into a skeleton. I haven't done my research on that, but we know good and damn well it wouldn't happen within a month. So your question you asked, Joanna, did they skin him? Hell, that's a possibility. How did his body decompose so fast? And just like they asked, did they put some type of chemical on him for this to happen? Because if an animal got hold to him, they're not going to skin it like that to the bone like that so fast. Come on, man. This type of stuff, this type of evidence that's provided, the regular common citizen can say, okay, this was done by another person, not a fucking animal. Do you really think people are that damn stupid? So if we know that you're telling us a bunch of bullshit, why? Why are you doing that? What are you covering up? Who are you protecting? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. This is 2023 now. You should understand that there are people that are awake now. You can't just piss on our head and tell us it's raining outside. You can't do that no more. This right here really pisses me off because it shouldn't happen. This shouldn't happen. People should not be able to play God and take somebody's life and then be protected for it. Come on, man. But, we get pulled over on traffic stops and get treated like animals. We got to protect ourselves. Well, shit, look what's going on in society. They got this man on someone's deer cam running for his life. Bruises on his body while he's alive. Bruises. Not gashes from an animal bite. Bruises. This man was running for his life. And you expect for us to believe that this was done by an animal? That tells me how much you think of our people. You think we're stupid. Fuck out of here, bro. We gotta keep this case out in the front, man. Just like the young man said, or the guy on here said, now that the internet is now pushing it. Trust me, for those who have a channel, for those who are content creators, keep doing what you're doing. You may not think it's enough, but it's pushing a story that needs to be pushed. And if there's other content creators who have way more subscribers and way more viewers, it doesn't mean yours don't matter. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. As long as this story is put to the front, they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to give us some type of answers. They're going to have to. There's no doubt about that. You want to say, I normally have talks like this and I can get into it because I'm not from the South. Yes, it's still racism in California, but we don't hear this. My heart is broken and I'm pissed. Yeah. I mean, racism still is all over the world, but it's a lot of it going on in the South. We can't deny that. You know, look at Breonna Taylor. Right here in my own city, look at Ahmaud Arbery, my neighbor. He lived 2 houses down from me. Yes, racism still exists. Why is it in the South? I don't know, man. I really don't know. Marley 13 says, did they say where he worked? I haven't gotten that. All I know is he was contracted for some, I want to say it was like Georgia Pacific. I believe that's what I remember hearing, Georgia Pacific. Of course, I know this happened in Mississippi, but that's what I did hear. Let me take a look at this one. One of these videos that I actually watched actually says it, but I'm not 100% sure which one it was. But we'll take a look at this one and see if this was it. If not, it's okay. Can't hurt anything by us watching it. So let's take a look at this one.
Chanting
Justice for Rasheem Carter.
to these signs.
Justice for Rasheem Carter.
It's clear that family members and friends want someone to be held accountable for the death of 25-year-old Rasheem Carter.
This was not a natural death. This represents a young man who was killed.
Well-known civil rights attorney Ben Crump gives the gruesome details on how the Jefferson County man was found.
His head was severed from his body. His vertebrae, his spinal cord, was in another spot they discovered away from his severed head. They have recently found remains that they believe are also Rasheem Carter.
Carter was last seen outside a Super 8 hotel at the beginning of October in Laurel, which is half an hour from where he had been contracted to work in Taylorsville at Georgia Pacific. Remains believed to be his were found on November 2nd. Those close to Carter say he was being threatened by people he knew.
He was dutifully and gainfully employed, just trying to make a living for his young child, and ends up dead, chased by what we believe to be white supremacists, a lynch mob.
In fact, Carter's mother, Tiffany Carter, says he even let her know about it during one of his last text messages to her right before he went missing.
He said, me and the owner of this company not seeing eye to eye, mama. His name, which I can't say at this time, but if anything happened to me, he's responsible for it. I'm too smart, mama. He got these guys wanting to kill me.
But they say what's even more alarming is the fact that someone attempted to use Carter's credit card even after it was determined that he was dead.
And we believe that is a big clue. Think about it. The person who had his credit card is likely to have encountered him while he was alive. And it shouldn't have to be this difficult for this brokenhearted mother to get answers.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel.
And, you know, I even forgot to even bring that up. The fact that they found his credit card, you know, after he went missing, after he was determined dead, someone tried to use his credit card. I guess the goddamn animal who goddamn bit his head off wanted to go to a store to get them something, you know, for whatever reason. An animal. Come on, bruh. And these are the type of things that, you know, black parents have to deal with when they lose a kid unjustly. Got to work so hard. They got to come out their pockets, pay lawyers, do GoFundMes to get up the money to pay these lawyers. When the evidence is right there for law enforcement to do their damn job to convict whoever it may be who commit these crimes. The fact that you are not willing to take an extra step to solve a case for a black man lets me know what's going on. It's not freaking hard. Man, please. It's sad. It's sad. Imagine if it was your kid. Just imagine if it was your kid. Kids missing just sickens my mood. Now I got an attitude. You think I won't battle fool? I will slap the fuck out of you. Maybe I am a radical. I'm charged up with a matador. You don't love the kids, why do you got them for? I tell the truth, how they got out the door. These cases I can't ignore. You damn right I want your face on the floor. We lacking info pimping, I'ma need more. See, it's the truth that we want. You supposed to love your kid, the truth is you don't. Somebody bring them parents up to the front. Them kids been missing for months. Damn right I'm mad, pimp, I done had enough. Oh, my business, bitch, I don't give a fuck. I might just tear this shit up. Now we got summer, we got us, and we got on. Like the parents, they don't care. I'm like, what the fuck you doing? All of the YouTubers pursuing, they do more than what you doing. Now how the fuck you gonna influence? Your reputation done been ruined. Why? Oh, why they taking these kids? I'm so sick of this shit. Why? Remember that kid they left in the car. Sydney deal, she had a bum for a father. Nip Posadas, Nevada. Just break the window, but he wouldn't even bother. He making kids, now that's really a problem. What about that fella Kawan? The lady picked him up was a mom. Now Kawan was a friend with a son. I can't believe what they done. They found his body in the sugar cane field. Now his parents gotta shed some real tears. This ain't how the fuck we supposed to live. If you got a kid, show them that you love them. Cause they leaving on the dub, protect them. Gotta keep them covered. Cause there's some evil motherfuckers plotting, waiting just to touch them. Don't you think this shit is nuts? They taking kids out by the dozen. It's so many living in your city limits. If you think that they offended, that mean you think this again. It only take a single man. Evaluate the way you live. This was a blessing you was given. It's gonna hit you different if your child just end up missing. Why they taking these kids? I'm so sick of this shit. Why they taking these kids? I'm so sick of this shit. Why they taking these kids? I'm so sick of this shit. Man, just put yourself in Miss Tiffany's shoes. How would you feel if this was your kid? A lot of people like to turn a blind eye to these type of cases because it doesn't hit home for some. Don't wait till it do to want to try to change things that you see is happening in the world. Because once you make that move to decide to be that person to make a change, it might be too late for you. And then also think about how would you want the world to respond to the situation if you were in it? This is all the way wrong. This is wrong in so many ways. So many ways. The evidence points to foul play. The evidence points to somebody murdering this young black man who didn't bother nobody, who was just trying to make a living for him and his daughter. And his life was taken from him. This shit ain't cool, bro. I ain't gonna hold y'all up too long. Y'all know me, man. I don't go live very long. But I had to do my due diligence as a black man for another black man who lost his life unjustly. I'll be dropping more videos and giving more updates as they come. May even go live when I gain more information. Who knows? I want to thank those that came in and just listened to the live, who maybe wasn't aware of the case of Rasheem Carter. This is a modern day lynching. There's no way you can put it differently. It is what it is. Don't wait till it's your kid. Trust me. You'll lose your mind. Y'all be easy, man.